Have you ever woken up one morning, looked down and thought, wait, what happened to my morning wood? If you're over 50, you might have noticed that erections don't always show up on command like they used to. And here's the truth most men never hear. It's not just about age, it's about nutrition. Your body is a machine. And if you're not fueling it with the right vitamins in the right way, performance takes a hit, no matter how strong your desire is. As a urologist, I've seen hundreds of men regain firmness and confidence, not by pills, not by gimmicks, but by fixing a few simple deficiencies. And today, I'm going to share 3 powerful vitamins that can literally transform your circulation, testosterone, and erection quality when you take them correctly. Stay with me until the very end because the 3rd vitamin and the way you combine it is a game changer that most men overlook. Let's start with the sunshine vitamin, vitamin D3. Most people instantly associate it with bone strength, but here's a shocking truth that far too many men overlook. Vitamin D3 is directly tied to sexual performance. Research shows that men with low vitamin D levels are nearly twice as likely to suffer from erectile dysfunction compared to men with healthy levels. Think about that for a moment. Something as simple as a vitamin deficiency can be the hidden factor behind why your erections aren't as strong or reliable as they used to be. And here's why this connection is so powerful. Vitamin D3 doesn't just act like a vitamin in your body. It behaves much more like a hormone. It plays a key role in testosterone production, which is the very foundation of male vitality, desire, and firmness. Without enough of it, your testosterone signals weaken, your energy dips, and your ability to maintain strong erections begins to falter. But that's not all. Vitamin D3 also regulates blood vessel function, ensuring they stay elastic and able to expand when blood flow is needed most. It reduces inflammation too, keeping your arteries clear and flexible. In other words, D3 creates the perfect environment for strong circulation and peak performance. Here's the catch that most men don't realize. More than half of men over the age of 50 are deficient in vitamin D3, and most have no idea. Why? Because modern life works against us. If you spend most of your time indoors, if you live in a colder climate where sunlight is limited, or even if you've put on extra belly fat over the years, your body struggles to convert sunlight into usable vitamin D. Belly fat actually traps vitamin D, making it unavailable for your body to use. The result? Low testosterone, poor circulation, weaker signals to your most important organ, and often a decline in morning wood and overall performance. This is why some men notice a dramatic change just by correcting this one deficiency. I've seen patients who are constantly tired, moody, and struggling with weak erections. And once they got their vitamin D levels back up, their energy soared, their testosterone rebounded, and their bedroom performance improved noticeably. It's one of those small but mighty fixes that has ripple effects across your entire health. So, what's the right way to take it? First, timing and absorption matter. Vitamin D3 is fat-soluble, which means your body cannot absorb it properly on an empty stomach or when taken with just water. The best way to maximize its benefits is to take it with food, specifically foods that contain healthy fats like olive oil, avocado, salmon, or even a handful of nuts. Those fats act as carriers, helping vitamin D slide smoothly into your system where it can be stored and used effectively. And here's another tip. Take it in the morning with your breakfast. Why? Because vitamin D has a subtle energizing effect, and taking it late in the evening can sometimes interfere with your sleep cycle. When you start your day with it, you're not only fueling your testosterone and circulation, but you're also giving your body a natural boost of energy and mood support. Over just a few weeks, many men notice changes. Their mood lifts, their focus sharpens, their energy is steadier, and most importantly, they see a stronger, more consistent response in the bedroom. The bottom line, vitamin D3 is not optional. It's essential. It's one of those silent players in your health that you don't notice until it's gone. And by then, the symptoms, fatigue, low desire, weaker erections have already crept in. But the good news is, once you restore it, your body responds quickly. Next up, vitamin B12. Vitamin B12, the nerve protector. Think of your erection like an orchestra. The blood vessels, the hormones, the muscles, they're all the instruments. But without a sharp conductor keeping everything in sync, the music falls apart. That conductor is your nervous system. And vitamin B12 is what keeps those nerve signals strong, fast, and precise. Without enough of it, the communication between your brain, your spine, and your most important organ slows down. And that's when performance issues begin to creep in. Here's where it gets tricky. As men age, the ability to absorb B12 drops sharply. Your stomach simply stops producing enough acid to properly release B12 from the food you eat. It's not your fault, it's biology. This is why so many men over 50 walk around chronically low without realizing it. And the symptoms can be subtle at first. Tingling in the hands or feet, numbness, fatigue that coffee doesn't fix, brain fog, and, yes, weaker, less reliable erections. Because when those nerve signals don't fire at full power, blood flow doesn't know where to go or when to stay. But B12's role doesn't stop at nerves. It also keeps your red blood cells strong and healthy. Why does that matter for your performance? Because red blood cells are your oxygen delivery trucks. The more efficient they are, the more oxygen gets transported directly to your tissues, including down below. Without oxygen, stamina crashes. With it, stamina surges. And here's another hidden danger. B12 protects you from high levels of homocyan. This compound builds up when B12 is low, and it's toxic to your arteries. It stiffens them, narrows them, and reduces their ability to carry blood. High homocyan is like rust clogging your pipes, and the result is poor circulation, weaker erections, and a higher risk of heart problems too. So, the question is, how do you get enough? For younger men, diet alone can sometimes do the job. Foods like eggs, fish, and red meat are good sources. But once you hit 50, pills alone often don't cut it because your gut isn't absorbing efficiently anymore. That's why sublingual B12, the kind you dissolve under your tongue, is such a game changer. It bypasses your gut completely and slips directly into your bloodstream. For men with very low levels, B12 injections can be life-changing, restoring energy, sharpening memory, and improving performance in ways that pills simply can't. Timing also matters. B12 is energizing. It's nature's pick-me-up, so it's best taken in the morning. Think of it like flipping on the power switch for your nervous system before the day begins. And the beauty is, the effects are not just theoretical. Within weeks of consistent supplementation, men report feeling sharper, more alert, less tired, and yes, more capable of lasting and performing in the bedroom. Their nerves are firing, their oxygen delivery is stronger, and their arteries are less restricted. If vitamin D3 is the foundation, then B12 is the wiring that makes sure the electricity flows smoothly. And that is why restoring B12 levels can be the missing puzzle piece for men who feel like their desire is still there, but their performance, just vitamin K2, isn't keeping up. Now, the third vitamin is the one almost nobody talks about, yet it may be the most important piece of this entire puzzle. Vitamin K2. Think of it as the traffic controller of your body. You've probably heard that calcium is good for bones. But here's the darker side. When calcium goes rogue, it doesn't just strengthen your skeleton. It can build up in the wrong places, especially in your arteries. Over time, that build-up turns into hard, calcified plaques. the very same ones that cause stiffness, poor circulation, and eventually heart disease. K2 is the nutrient that steps in and says, "Hold on, calcium, you don't belong here." It pulls that calcium out of your arteries and drives it straight into your bones and teeth where it's supposed to be. Now, why does this matter for erections? Because hardened arteries are silent erection killers. Many men don't realize that erectile dysfunction is often one of the very first warning signs of cardiovascular trouble. Your penis has some of the smallest, most delicate blood vessels in your body. If those vessels start to stiffen even a little, blood flow is restricted. And without strong, flexible arteries, nitric oxide, the natural chemical your body releases to dilate blood vessels during arousal, simply cannot do its job. In other words, no flexibility, no expansion, no erection. This is why doctors often say erections are like the canary in the coal mine. Problems down there can be an early red flag that bigger issues are brewing in your heart. Here's the amazing part. Vitamin K2 helps prevent that. By keeping arteries soft and elastic, it allows blood to surge through freely when you need it most. Picture the difference between a brand new garden hose that bends and flexes versus an old cracked one that barely lets water pass through. That's what K2 does. It keeps your arteries young, supple, and responsive, even as the years go by. And when those arteries stay open and responsive, erections come back to life. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Vitamin K2 works hand in hand with vitamin D3. They are like a tag team. D3 increases calcium absorption from your diet, which is fantastic for your bones, but dangerous if left unchecked. Without K2, that extra calcium can wander into your arteries and joints, creating stiffness instead of strength. But with K2 guiding the way, every bit of that calcium is shuttled into your bones, where it builds density and resilience. This is why combining D3 and K2 is far more powerful than taking either one alone. One provides the raw material, and the other makes sure it's put to proper use. So, how do you actually get enough? The how to get enough truth is K2 isn't easy to find in a standard diet. The richest natural source is natto, a traditional Japanese dish made from fermented soybeans. It's incredibly potent in K2, but let's be honest, most men in the West aren't eating natto every morning. Other sources include aged cheeses, egg yolks, and certain organ meats. But even then, the amounts are usually too small to make a real impact. That's why supplements are often the most reliable option, especially for men over 50 who need consistent levels to protect both their arteries and their performance. The right way to take it with food, and preferably in the evening. Vitamin K2 is fat-soluble, which means it's best absorbed when paired with dietary fats like olive oil, salmon, or avocado. Many experts recommend pairing it directly with vitamin D3. Since the two complement each other so perfectly by making this a nightly ritual with your evening meal, you not only boost your erections by improving blood vessel health, but you also strengthen your bones, protect your heart, and slow down one of the most damaging processes of aging, arterial calcification. At the end of the day, vitamin K2 may just be the quiet hero of male performance. While D3 boosts testosterone and B12 powers your nerves, K2 ensures the very highways that carry blood into your manhood stay open, flexible, and responsive. Without it, all the testosterone in the world won't help if your arteries are stiff. With it, you're giving your body the freedom to function the way it was designed, keeping your vitality alive well into your later years. Now, here's the secret that most men miss. It's not about taking these vitamins randomly or just popping a pill whenever you remember. The real power comes from timing and synergy. Vitamin D3 and K2 work best when taken together with healthy fats because that's how your body absorbs them properly. Without fat, much of their potential slips right through you. On the other hand, vitamin B12 is different. It thrives when taken on its own early in the morning, almost like flipping on a switch for your nervous system and energy levels. Get this sequence right, and you're not just supporting your heart and bones. You're laying down the foundation for firmer, more reliable erections day after day without forcing your body or fighting against it. But let's be clear, vitamins aren't some overnight miracle or a quick fix that replaces everything else. They're more like building blocks, part of the foundation your body needs to function at its best. If your lifestyle is shaky, the vitamins can't do their full job. That means pairing them with other essentials like quality sleep, consistent hydration, and even a little daily movement. These simple habits act like multipliers, boosting the effectiveness of the nutrients you're taking in. For example, just walking 20 minutes a day improves circulation, which makes the effects of D3 and K2 on your arteries even stronger. Hydration ensures your blood moves smoothly, making oxygen delivery from B12 more effective. It all ties together like pieces of a bigger system. And here's the exciting part. When you get all of this right, the results often come faster than most men expect. I've had patients who started noticing more energy, better morning stiffness, and even improved mood within 3 weeks. For others, the changes felt subtle at first: deeper sleep, less fatigue, more confidence. But over time, they realized that intimacy no longer felt like a struggle. Their body was working with them, not against them. That's the real reward. Not just an occasional good night, but a steady return of strength and consistency that restores confidence in every area of life. If you've been feeling like your performance isn't what it used to be, don't jump straight to pills or quick fixes. Start with these 3 essentials. They're safe, affordable, and they work with your body, not against it. Now, I want you to do something for yourself. Try this for just 1 month. Take D3 with breakfast, B12 in the morning under your tongue, and K2 with dinner. Then watch what happens. You'll feel the difference not just in the bedroom, but in your energy, confidence, and health as a man. And before you go, don't miss out on my next video, because I'll be breaking down the worst foods that silently drain your testosterone after 50. Hit subscribe, drop a like, and share this with a friend who might need it. Remember, you're never too old to rebuild your vitality. You just need to give your body the right tools.